All right, welcome. Good morning. Here we are, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and we're going to kick today off this Saturday. What is this? December 28th. We're going to kick this off in the Cessna 152 with our Alaska Adventure Tour here, leg number 10 out of 12. So for this one, we're going to be flying from Pilot Point over to Egegik, Alaska. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but nonetheless, we're going to get this thing on the ground, get this thing going, adjust our weather to probably a sunrise, and then, yeah, we're going to see what this is all about. So, Bushtalk Radio, I think we got 3 of them. I know this airport that we're going to has a port that I've seen on the channel, of course. Let's see where we're at with that. We are currently sitting at 403 subscribers, so fantastic to see the growth on the channel, of course. And I know I've been enjoying putting these videos together. Glad you guys are enjoying watching.
2467, taking off runway 25, departure to the east.
Alright, let's go ahead and do a sunrise here. We've already done all that, so we will do that once we get up in the air and get cruising. So let's see what else we got. We got to get rid of our flaps, reduce our trim. Go ahead and check out what this all looks like. It's just our camera angle here in the cockpit. And I think we're ready to go here. Our park and brake. It should be good to go. So we're looking at departing to the east. So once we take off, we will spin around there to the east, as we're going west right now. Pilot Point over there to our left. We'll fly out here towards our first destination. We do have a road there. I feel like we haven't seen too many roads on this Alaska trip. So departing from Pilot Point, we'll go ahead and play this one again. I know we played it in the last video, but for for those that haven't seen it, we'll play the Pilot Point Bushtalk Radio to get a little history on the airport that we're flying out of.
Pilot Point Airport ICAO, PAPN, is a state-owned, public-use airport located in Pilot Point, a city in the Lake and Peninsula Borough of the U.S. state of Alaska. Scheduled airline service to King Salmon Airport is provided by Grant Aviation. As per Federal Aviation Administration records, this airport had 738 commercial passenger boardings in calendar year 2008, an increase of 9% from the 678 enplanements in 2007. Pilot Point Airport is included in the FAA's National Plan of Integrated Airport Systems, which categorizes it as a general aviation facility. On the 1st of July 1981, Douglas A4D-N100 11ST of United Aircraft Services crashed shortly after takeoff while on a flight to Anchorage International Airport, following the failure of the port engine. All 3 people on board were killed. The aircraft was on a cargo flight laden with fish.
Alright, so we're going to get a little exterior view here as we come up to so after this winding river, there's going to be 2 lakes. We got a Bushtalk Radio on the lower lake here. So we are about, let's say, about 17 nautical miles away from that lake. Just enjoy the scenery in between now and then with the sunrise. We'll get there soon enough, and in the meantime we'll go ahead and contact ATC.
Anchorage Center Cessna November 42467 is type Cessna 152 5 miles north of Niner Alpha 1,500 feet. Request flight following. Cessna November 42467 Anchorage Center. Squawk 0, Tree 05. Squawk 0, Tree 05 Cessna 467. Cessna 467 radar, contact 5 miles north of Niner Alpha, 1,000 feet, altimeter 29er. Tree 1. Roger Cessna 467.
Alright, acknowledge radar contact there. We'll go ahead and close that up. Alright, we're getting close. This is a decent sized little body of water here, but that is not the lake that we are looking at. The other lake is a lot bigger than this. I think what we'll do after this is we're going to record a few career mode episodes, and we're trying to get some money, build that up after we just we purchased the Cessna 172 and we just fixed it up. We bought it used. We spent like $136,000 to fix it, and then we started Cloudline Cargo Company, so we're going to be doing some cargo trips to earn some money. It seems like we can pull off about $50,000 a trip, so we should be able to make that money back pretty fast, and then We'll bank some money, see what's next. I know we got a certification to do. Maybe we'll go ahead and do that. In order to advance on and see what else opens up. So appreciate you guys tuning in to these homemade tour adventures. We're doing Alaska here, and then we got what is it, Med Coast or something like that up next, which is 8 legs. And Med Coast, I do believe, stands for the Mediterranean coast. So I haven't looked at it in detail, but I'm thinking that it's like the Spain area. So that's where we'll be headed next. Not sure what plane just yet, but nonetheless, it should be an interesting set of flights there. So we'll create a folder in the YouTube channel for that one. And we are coming up to the lakes now. You can actually see them. So I think this is the big one. This is the other one. I think this is called the Lower Lake. I'm not going to try to pronounce it just yet. Well, we have a Bushtalk Radio that will do that for us. But we can probably go ahead and get a jump on and play that. Oh, there's 2 of them. So, yeah, you got the upper and the lower. So for this one off to our right, we're going to have
The Egegik Lakes are 2 adjacent lakes along the Egegik River on the Alaska Peninsula in the U.S. state of Alaska. The lakes are world-renowned for trophy Arctic grayling fishing. The lakes also support large concentrations of lake trout, provide key feeding habitat for large numbers of sockeye and coho salmon. Upper Egegik Lake is 17 miles long and located at the head of the river, south of Bekarov Lake and 22 miles northeast of Egegik. Lower Egegik Lake is 11 miles long and located south of Upper Egegik Lake, 14 miles east of Egegik.
Alright, that's a little preview of the lake there. And then there's going to be, wow, another giant one. That one actually dwarfs this lake by a lot. But yeah. So we'll go ahead and get that one going as well.
The Yukon-Rek Mars are 2 photomagmatic vents that formed on the north side of the Aleutian Range on a low area bordering the Bering Sea. The Mars are 1.5 kilometers south of Bekarov Lake and 12 kilometers northwest of Pulik Volcano. The western of the 2 is elliptical in shape and up to 170 meters in diameter and 35 meters deep. The East Mar lies 600 meters to the east and is circular and up to 300 meters in diameter and 70 meters deep. The East Mar has a 49-meter high lava dome within the crater lake. The eruption occurred in March and April 1977 and lasted for 10 days. There was no previous eruption. The magmatic material was olivine basalt from a mantle source. Pyroclastic surge from the eruptions traveled to the northwest. The Quaternary Age gas rocks dacite domes, some 3 km to the northeast, were the site of a phreatic eruption some 2,300 years ago.
Alright, so another volcano story, historical story, I guess, on Alaska. So surprisingly, I didn't know that Alaska had that much of a volcanic history, but apparently it does. And always interesting to learn some different facts about the state. So we're cruising at about 1,400 feet. And airspeed is 93, so not too fast. Get a little exterior view here. Still got our co-pilot there. Looks like we got a little.
467 contact Anchorage Center on 124.
Looks like we got a little bit of frost there on the window.
Eight for Cessna 467.
Cessna November 42467 Anchorage Center, altimeter 29er, tree 4 radar contact. Continue.
Alright, we did the ATC handoff, which we don't have too often here so far in this journey. But I was kind of expecting that as we get a little bit further north of this peninsula. We're going to get a little more of populated area, maybe. We'll see. I mean, we only got what? This is 10, 11, 12. We only got 2 more after this. So we're coming up to Fort Jensen. We're not going to be landing at that airport. And we got the, just before it, we got the Blue Mountain Lodge. So I'm going to assume that they have some fishing expeditions over there because they are located right on that lake. Alright, and we're going to take a look at the airport. We are going to be landing on runway number 30. 5,619 feet in length. general aviation parking is about halfway, maybe a little more than halfway up the runway on the right hand side. And we're going to be flying over a lake in order to get to runway 30, so we should have a little water view. So, yeah, Blue Mountain Lodge coming up. I'm kind of curious if they have a website. They do have a website, bluemountainlodge.com. Hunting and fishing. I kind of figured as much. So if we pause this, here is the Blue Mountain Lodge website. So lots of bear there. Not a huge fan of hunting bear, but yeah, activities, hiking, bear viewing, beach combing, fishing, open dates, fishing information. That is a giant fish, for sure. And they got moose, brown bear, bird, our lodge. It's right there on the other side of the water that we're about to fly over. And they also have a Piper, a Super Cub, a Cessna 180 on floats, and a Cessna 182. And smaller portable tents. I think with the bear in the area, I don't think I'd be adventurous enough to camp out in a tent. But we're going to go ahead and resume this. So Bear Mountain Lodge is right on the other end of this lake right here. I think it's actually this. If we fly over here. This is Bear Mountain Lodge right there. interesting enough. We do have that little bit of a frost going on the windshield and the wings. Adjust the camera view here back to what it was. I was just messing around with some stuff here, but there's no autopilot, so I'm trying to do this two-handed with a three-handed task. Get back on track here. So not too bad. We got probably about I'm gonna guess around 20 miles to go. Let's go ahead and tune to traffic. Select our runway number 30. Announce a full stop landing, and we'll see exactly how far away we are.
Papa Alpha India traffic Cessna November 4246719 miles southeast 1200. Ford inbound to land runway tree 0.
Alright, so not too bad. We're 19 miles away. We'll meet up with our original flight plan when we get a little closer to the airport. Definitely got some ice buildup on the wings and probably the front there. That lake looks like it froze over. Getting closer there. Looks like about 10 miles to go. Which I'm looking forward to that because my first cup of coffee has already been depleted. It is 100% gone. We need to go get a refill. We're going to increase our elevation just a touch so that we can get a good look at the runway. We've been flying pretty low the whole trip, and it's easier to spot the runway and line up to it when we're just a little bit higher. We got 9 miles to go. I think with these lakes coming up here, we'll grab a thumbnail. Go. That should work. Actually, maybe we'll grab this one. There you go. That's a little bit better. Use that for leg number 11. Alright, we're going to go out here a little bit to the right. We're going to follow this little frozen river line up to the runway. And we're about 5.5 nautical miles away from touchdown. Got more ice building up. The runway is going to be just on the other side of that water up there. Now that we're about 5 miles out, we'll go ahead and announce our final.
Papa Alpha India India traffic Cessna November 42467 is on final runway 30 to land.
And when we get to about 3 miles, we'll reduce our speed, introduce some flaps, and We'll introduce a little bit of trim, I think, too. Trim we can do now. Let's go about 3%. Maybe 2. 2 feels good. Go ahead, reduce our speed. We're going to get to the top of the white arc, which is 85 miles or 85 knots. We'll introduce 10 degrees of flaps. Speed is now 70 knots. Airport sits just on the other end of that water. When we get to the front edge of that, we're going to be making a left-hand turn to get lined up with the runway. Pretty much right where I think that might be a tree. Speed 74, looking good. Trim feels good, flaps feel good, and once again, general aviation parking is off to the right about halfway down the runway. We're looking at about a 8-9 mile an hour wind, so not the slowest wind, but not the highest either, so pretty much moderate wind. And it is coming into our face from right to left. That's why I'm coming in at a little bit of an angle. You can see it on the windsock there, that little red and white thing on the left. Go ahead, cut our throttle, float on in here to the runway. When we get to the closer here, we're going to flare up just a touch. Make a nice little soft landing. And do believe that this is a taxiway here. Not sure where that takes us, but I think we'll head on down this way. I see some other planes, and there's a fuel station, and looks like we got another windsock. Hopefully that car doesn't jet out in front of us. But we'll go ahead and park down here. And yeah, maybe we'll do that for the thumbnail. I like that one. Alright, so that'll be for our next one. So once again, guys, do appreciate you tuning in. It's been a blast here. That was leg number 10 for our Alaska tour adventure. So we're going to go ahead and end the flight there. And then head on back to the career mode and we'll get some stuff recorded there for you. So appreciate you tuning in. Hope everybody enjoys their Saturday morning here. And we will see you on the next one.